But be aware if you're heading to Lake Michigan, there's a rip current warning. 24-hour News 8's Danny Carlson joins us now live from Grand Haven with more on that. Danny?
Yeah, you know what, Emily? Rip current warning, also high waves along the big lake. You can tell from my hair, amongst some other things, birds flying sideways, that it is very windy out here along the big lake. We're at the Grand Haven State Park, and if you can take a look here, let us show you the waves right now. Here at the Grand Haven State Park, the National Weather Service is predicting about 3 feet waves. Obviously, that makes it a little bit more difficult to swim. At other beaches across West Michigan, sometimes they get even higher. We do have a full report about that on our website, woodtv.com. But that gives you an idea on top of the surface, and then also those rip currents below. That is why it is a red flag swimming day here at many of the beaches along the big lake. And we can show you, we were talking about the rip currents. That is the biggest issue today. There are signs like this one posted along the big lake giving you ideas of what to do if you are caught in a rip current. Don't fight it, swim out of it, try to get to shore. You can't escape, float, or tread water. And if you need help, call or wave for assistance. Obviously, the best thing that authorities are going to tell us today is try not to get in that rip current in the first place, which means don't go out in the water. If you're not a strong enough swimmer, if you're a child, don't go out in the water. I mean, this red flag warning really lets people know this could be life-threatening conditions along the big lake if you do decide to foray out into the water today. Now, we are planning on talking to an Ottawa County Sheriff's deputy coming up within the next just couple of minutes, get some ideas about how long this is going to last. Again, if there's any more tips that you can do if you do find yourself or a loved one caught in that rip current, and we'll have all of those tips for you coming up at 24-hour News 8 at 5 and 6, and also on our website, woodtv.com. The biggest message to take away is if you do plan on going into the lake today, swim with a buddy and be very careful. Live in Grand Haven this noon, Danny Carlson, 24-hour News 8.
Storm Team 8 meteorologist Laura Velasquez joins us now from the 24-hour tracking center to show us where along the lakeshore we're seeing that high rip current risk. So Laura, I know you're forecasting improving weather conditions, but not if you plan on going swimming in Lake Michigan, not at all.
Yeah, definitely not, Emily. All locations along the Lake Michigan shoreline on our side of the lake are highlighted in red, meaning a high risk for rip currents. And our best advice to you is to simply stay out of the water. Don't even start wading in there because ankles become your knees, knees becomes your waist, and that's deep enough for a rip current to pull you out away from the shoreline. So here's that Lake Michigan forecast. So looks like today waves building 4 to 7 feet. I took a look at some of the wave heights about 10:30 this morning. They were already in the 3 to 5 foot range. They're going to build higher than that. Look at those winds, north and northwest, 15 to 30 knots. We could see some wind gusts a little higher than that. You could see Danny out there, the wind really whipping around. Water temps, unfortunately, are enticing, still holding in the 70s, but I'll say it again, just stay out of the water today. Here's those sustained winds, 15 in Grand Rapids, 14 in Muskegon. Latest gust in Ludington was out of the northwest at 25 miles an hour. In terms of any precipitation across West Michigan, within about the last hour, we've seen a couple of scattered showers try to develop along that cold front southeast of Grand Rapids. These are going to push out of the area pretty fast, but tracking it into the Charlotte area at about 12:44. This next shower approaching Lansing at about 12:24. Will stay dry from Grand Rapids to the northwest. Air temps still holding in the 70s. We've seen a couple of those numbers jump to around 80 for Kalamazoo and to Battle Creek, but they're not going to stay that warm. In fact, within the next couple of hours, we see those temps tail off into the mid 70s, and then perhaps even by late this afternoon, still falling into the lower 70s, but it will become less humid. So it was really sticky on your way into work this morning. Things will be greatly improved by the time you leave at 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. And we're going to keep you updated on those Lake Michigan conditions and also the cooler weather coming in the 8-day forecast. That's all coming up.